breach of contract.
On Bloomberg Radio, the Bloomberg Radio Plus app, and BloombergRadio.com.
This is Sunday Brunch with Charlie Rose on Bloomberg Radio. His guest, Graham Allison, author and professor at the Harvard Kennedy School. And once again, here's Charlie Rose.
How do you compare Xi Jinping to previous leaders? Jiang Zemin, Hu Jintao, others of recent history?
I was in Beijing just 2 or 3 weeks ago, and for the Chinese I know, I always try to ask them a question kind of like that and listen around the edges. So clearly, he is not like any other leader since Mao. And there even now, people are saying, well, you know, they call him he's not like the CEO, he's the COE, the chief of everything. Right. So he's got all the lines running to him.
Including the military.
Everything. The economy, the military.
But Hu Jintao didn't control the military the way he did.
No. So basically, I mean, Hu Jintao is not even a comparison for him. The only comparisons would be Deng Xiaoping, where Deng was doing the big reform, or Mao. So he's declared himself the core leader, and they may even elevate him another level at this party congress coming up in November.
In one of my really wonderful conversations with Lee Kuan Yew, he talked about the time that Deng Xiaoping got interested in what he was doing in Singapore, and he sent like 200 Chinese to go to Singapore and observe and come back, so that whatever revolution they were going to take on in China, they would know what he had done.
Absolutely. I mean, I think why Lee Kuan Yew and why the interviews you did with him were very helpful, and why I think he's so relevant for us. Lee Kuan Yew kind of felt himself to be kind of half Chinese, but he mostly cared about Singapore and trying to make Singapore survive. So in order to do that, he had a real need to know what the hell was going on next door in China. And the Chinese, starting with Deng Xiaoping, saw, here's Chinese guys making a very successful society in Singapore. How does this work? I remember in one of your interviews, Lee Kuan Yew talked about the black box. Right. It's like these Westerners have some trick. And Lee Kuan Yew said, no, you have private property, you have market economy. This is basically how it works. So every one of these leaders, including Xi Jinping, called Lee Kuan Yew mentor. So that meant he spent thousands of hours with these people talking face to face. So when you ask, what does Xi Jinping want? It's not like me, some academic, coming up with some theory of the case. He had a sense because he's talking to the guy. Too. Yeah, he did.
He understood power more than he understood democracy.
Oh, way more. In fact, there's a funny story when I got to know him. When he initially became a fellow at the Institute of Politics at Harvard, when he took a sabbatical after 7 years as prime minister. This is the late 60s. And I kept, seeing him in between, because he's just, every time you'd come away with 1,000 good ideas. Yeah. So at one stage he called me up when I was dean of the Kennedy School. He said, I'm thinking I might send my son to be a student at the school. And I said, well, that would be great, but, we have an admissions process. So he said, don't worry, he's a double first from Cambridge, so he'll make through the competition. And he said, now, I want you to take care of him. I want you to make sure he learns everything, but do not have anybody talk to him about democracy.
Yes. What's interesting to me is how the Chinese see the United States. Do they respect us? Do they not respect us? Do they look at the things that we have accomplished, both in terms of our universities, in terms of our technology, in terms of the success of our economy? And do they say there's a lot to be admired and some things to be copied?
They think America is a superpower, America that showed how it could become such a successful society. They copy everything they can copy. They steal what they can steal. They emulate what they can emulate. But they don't think they want to become Americans. And they don't think they want to have our system, at least for the...
And what is it about us that they don't think they want to be? Because it was said that after the collapse in 2008, and the real economic collapse that we had in 2008, that the Chinese said, we've stopped trying to emulate you because we don't necessarily think you're doing it right.
Well, the 2008 was a big event for them in the financial domain, where they thought that, gee, wait a minute, capitalism, Wall Street, you guys certainly know about financial markets. You must know some magic of financial markets. And when there was a collapse and we had to struggle, they came to conclude, well, maybe the teacher doesn't know the answer. So in their system, they believe that you have to have more control of everything. So Xi Jinping is not going to relax capital markets because he's afraid of what the consequences would be. They are not prepared even for their market economy not to have national champions, which the government supports. So every day you pick up the paper and you see, okay, here they are buying up and trying to build chips and semiconductors so they'll be able to compete in that. Or there was a time when, Germany was the place that built high-speed rail. Well, they came to build some in China. They require them to share the technology. They steal the rest. Now, China builds the high-speed train. So basically, they're perfectly prepared to be predatory in learning from somebody that's been successful in every area. But when it gets to government and politics, they now, and more as they watch the U.S. in the 21st century, they look and they say, would anybody try to emulate that system? Any sane person? We're about pragmatism, not ideology of democracy, whatever. We're about pragmatism. We're about what works. We're about having a system in which the leaders get to be leaders by being tested at many, many levels. Mm-hmm. So we have a meritocracy. So we're quite happy with our system. Thank you. We're not trying to sell it. We're not trying to sell it to you. So we're not trying to tell other people what they should do. But we're telling you we're not interested in your system for us.
And they're interested. Don't talk to us about human rights, and don't talk to us.
Yeah, we don't want to hear about that.
Freedom, and don't talk to us about. We don't want to hear about
a Nobel Peace winner dissident who's in a hospital and who's dying, and we keep in the.
We don't let him go and get treatment.
Yeah, they're cruel. Yeah.
Wang Xishan, probably somebody you know.
Yes, I met.
Will he be the next premier?
Well, it's a good question. I think that betting, everybody there is terrified watching to see what happens between now and November in the party Congress, where Xi is going to get his second term lease, right, and maybe even a runway that goes beyond that. Right. That's my bet. And whether Wang Xishan just stays on the standing committee, the 7 people that are the top, or whether he actually puts him in a formal position.
As premier.
Is premier. Yeah. It's not clear, but I'd say
he's also beyond the age that normally they allow you to do that.
But I think it's pretty important to break that age limit. If Xi Jinping has any idea that he might like to break that age limit, 5 years on and stay longer.
That's Harvard Kennedy School author and professor Graham Allison. Coming up, Charlie asks about how Professor Allison prepared his latest book, Destined for War, Can America and China Escape Through Citizens' Trap? This is Sunday Brunch with Charlie Rose on Bloomberg Radio.
A college degree today shouldn't just prepare you for a first job. It should prepare you for career and life success. At Bentley University, we know that a business education is a great foundation for lifelong success. And when a business education is paired with the arts and sciences, it creates a powerful combination that prepares students for today's hybrid jobs. Just ask Bentley's Dean in Sciences, Dan Everett.
Success requires thinking far beyond our own interests. Leaders today must understand how to interact with others, think creatively, and question everything. We can't be afraid of diversity and change. We have to embrace it.
That's why graduates of Bentley are thriving in careers building new apps for Facebook, managing the finances at Converse, and analyzing big data at Biogen. No matter where your life and career take you, business is the foundation that will make sure you are prepared. Because business is everywhere. Prepare here. Bentley.edu/here.
Morning, Karen. Oh, hey, Jerry.
Hey, what's the matter? Long day?
No, I just got off this late call with our accounting firm, and we just aren't getting the support we need. My company's growing. I need an accounting firm that can scale with our needs.
You really should talk to my contact at Marks Paneth. They've provided tremendous value with their tax planning and compliance expertise for years.
Marks Paneth. I've heard of them. Can they handle multi-state filings? We've grown across the region and operate outside of just New York.
Oh, absolutely. Plus, they're always up